While I share my thoughts in this video, I am creating a patch from scratch, completely improvised, using the OXI One as a sequencer. I've pre-patched the gates and the pitches. And I'll be using 4 main voices: the Complex Oscillator, Harmonic Oscillator, Sawtooth Stack, and the Cwejman SM-1. All of these are mixed in the Xcelon and processed with Cwejman effects. My relationship with modular synths has always been a complicated one. I understood their power, but never fully harnessed it. I fell into the classic trap, buying more than I could comprehend, constantly frustrated by modules that felt purposeless in my setup. Everything shifted when I met Mark Verbos. Over 2 deep 3-hour conversation, we explore music, art, struggles, and life itself. For the first time, I felt like I was finally seeing the bigger picture. I first met Mark years ago in New York. Alessandro Cortini was playing a techno set at St. Vitus Bar using some obscure Metasonic module. I introduced myself to Mark and told him how much I admired his design, though at the time I couldn't afford a system. Years later, we met again in Kreuzberg, Berlin, at his workshop, just a short walk from my house. We sat down to discuss a possible collaboration, which quickly turned me into acquiring a few Verbos modules, then buy nearly the entire lineup within a week. I got obsessed. Why? Because I finally understood why I was drawn to Eurorack in the first place, or at least to the right Eurorack system. I love when instruments do one thing and they do it well. For me, modular synthesis should be exactly that. The ability to focus on a single function without menus, screens, or button combination. A module should fill one specific role and explore every possible nuance of it. Verbos modules embody that philosophy perfectly. They clicked with me right away. Meeting Mark and understanding the depth of knowledge he poured into his design made me rethink my entire setup. It wasn't just about sound anymore, it was being part of something meaningful. So I sold most of my other modules and committed to his vision. At our first meeting, I asked Mark why the CV on his sequencer wasn't quantized. He looked at me a bit puzzled and simply said, "Just be free." That line stuck with me for a week. I kept asking myself, can I actually be free with a modular system? And the answer I landed on was, no, not entirely. Modular synthesis offers a specific kind of freedom, one that's bound by the choice you make before you even patch a cable. True freedom doesn't come from infinite options. It comes from embracing the right limitations. For me, committing to a focused system, Verbos, with a few exceptions like Cwejman, Boardbrain, and Strymon, meant delegating my freedom to a designer I trust. And honestly, we do this all the time. We drive car we didn't build. We eat food someone else harvested. The tools we choose shape the art we create. Complete freedom can be as paralyzing as confinement. I work best within clear constraints. When I find the right tools, those limitations become liberating rather than restrictive. That's why I had to draw a line. No modules with screens, no multifunction modules, no menus. The result? A modular system that feels like a true instrument. Form and voices, rich modulations, and most importantly, ease of use. To feel inspired by possibilities, not overwhelmed by complexity. I want to create with the sound, not wrestle with an over-engineered interface. Approaching modular can be intimidating. While the real-life community around it is incredibly supportive, the online space is filled with strong opinions, and following those voices isn't always the best idea. I've been guilty of believing that making music with modular had to be complex, that it was a playground only for the highly skilled or deeply technical. But the truth is, modular synths are just tools. Their purpose isn't to make your music more complicated, it's to help you translate your ideas into sound. This leads me to something I want to share. Something that became painfully clear thanks to a guy named Tim, one of my most persistent critics. Tim loves to pop up in my comment section, always ready to remind me that I don't know how to use modular synth. His stance is simple. Why even have a modular system if you don't master it? Now, Tim knows how to hit where it hurts. And in the past, a comment like that might have made me second-guess myself. But instead of engaging in an ego battle, I started thinking about how many other musicians let comments like his hold them back. How many artists stay silent because they fear judgment? How many quit before they even begin, terrified of being called a fraud? When I first met Mark, I was nervous. I knew my knowledge of modular synths was nowhere near his level. And instead of pretending, I just admitted it. I am surprised you even wanted to talk to me. His response had the same puzzle vibe as when he told me to be free. I don't need anyone to explain the technicality of my models to me. I want to hear how you play them, because I like what you do. And just like that, the weight of self-doubt lifted. We spent hours discussing freedom in performance, the art of not caring about judgment, and the importance of getting back up after failure. It was eye-opening. This video is fully improvised. It's imperfect. It's maybe even simple. Maybe you think this system is overkill for what I'm doing. But here's the thing. Drawing a line and committing to it was the best decision I ever made. If you're struggling with creative paralysis, maybe it's time to set your own boundaries and stick to them. You got here for a reason. Trust that instinct and move forward. I've had this system for a couple of weeks now, and I'm thrilled to keep exploring and digging deeper into its enormous potential. There's so much to learn, and I can't wait to share more, so stay tuned. Oh, and if you want a full breakdown of this patch and my thought process, you'll find it on Patreon. That's where I support other musicians in their journey, without judgment. See you soon.